All right, welcome to I believe this really is episode 150. But whatever. My FX Buddies, the podcast, and I say podcast because there's multiple media um, methods, modes, whatever, to enjoy this content. Can you believe some people get irritated when I say enjoy this content? Anyway, but that's what I want. I want you to enjoy it, learn something. This stuff is really boring. I mean, to me and others, it's fascinating, but to the most people, it's boring. So I try to make it interesting. Okay, anyway, so this one, there is an article. You may want to go to the blog to read it and get it. It certainly is stirring conversation. All right, so we'll get to that. But the blog is myfxbuddies.blogspot.com. Wherever you are watching or listening to this, click the more info, intro, open type of button. Click on that, and a link to the blog will be there. And some other information, maybe, but definitely link to the blog. All right, so today is Thursday, December 26th. And remember I said we might get slammed. Oh, wait. Spotify.com. Audio, video, RSS.com is a transcript. My FX Buddies is where I am. Rumble, My FX Buddies. Everywhere is My FX Buddies. All right, so I did say it's Thursday. Oh, yeah. Okay, I had to pause. And I remember I was like, we might get slammed with news today. Okay, I'm starting off with this potentially bad news, but it gets better. Okay, something really cool happened today um, at the CBI. Okay, so just grin and bear what we're about to talk about right now. And there was a person that left an extremely long and thorough and to the point uh, mm, reply about Pimpy, Newtown Guru Pimpy. I don't listen to Pimpy. Um, I know I don't talk about other gurus, but um, he's been around longer than me. He has studied way more stuff than I have. I mean, down to just way more. But um, I don't always agree with his point of view, and that's fine. We're different people. Everyone can have their own opinion, right? So I don't listen to gurus. I mean, you guys know who I listen to, and that's it. Um, but I don't have boots on the ground. I'm strictly articles. Articles, so that way people can't say, well, you don't know what you're talking about because da 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 da. I am strictly articles. And not no one really does that anymore. I got a lot of that in the beginning, but now people kind of understand there's all kinds of information out there. But also you have to know Arabic is a language that three people can read the same thing in Arabic, and if you ask them to tell you about it, they could say three different things. There's people in Iraq who they watch the news, but they don't understand it. Just like here in America, there's people that watch our news and there's some concepts and laws and stuff they don't understand, right? Same thing over there. So just understand we're all out here trying to do our best, right? To help people understand or, you know, just to see how we stay in this without giving up, right? Okay, so the article that is going to be very unsettling for people is here. Parliamentary Finance Committee settles the matter. The dollar exchange rate will not change. Okay, first thing I see here is Parliamentary Finance Committee cannot settle the matter. They don't change rates. The CBI changes the rates, right? So that's the first thing. If you're going to look at this and get upset, that's the first thing to just let this roll off your back, right? Iraq is not going to change the dollar exchange rate. They're going to change the dinar rate, right? Okay, so that's another way to look at this. So what are they saying? Now remember, also, they're upset. They don't have all the information. In fact, later, we're going to see an article where a different committee, a different Parliament committee is saying, we don't know what's going on with the 2025 budget. No one's telling us anything. And Sudani's doing that on purpose because someone manipulated the 2024 budget schedules, right? And I guess they can't pinpoint who it was because they haven't come out and said, you did this. Remember, they had a list of 5 people, but they never pointed to just one person. So with this year's budget and budget schedules, Sudani's like, you'll see what you need to see when you need to see it. And so I think these parliamentary finance committee members, some of them are ones they're trying to stir up tension, and that would be speculation, which would make the dollar rate go higher, right? So that's one direction we could go with this article. The other direction is we could say it's smoke and mirrors. It's what Kuwait did. Remember? Now, I don't know. I didn't see this, but it seems to be widely accepted in dinar land that a day or two before Kuwait revalued, they put an ad in the paper saying, or not an ad, they put an article in the paper saying, no, we're not going to change our rate. And then the next day or 2 days later, they did. So it could be that. I don't know. I'm not really worrying about this though, because the first thing we need to see, is the auction stopping. And so far they have not. They stopped for the holiday. They had one today. They had an auction for December 26th. I believe they will have one. No, they won't have one tomorrow because it's Friday. They won't have one Saturday. So that's going to be, tomorrow's the 27th, Saturday's the 28th. Okay, so 29th would be the next day that they should have an auction, but I'm hoping they don't. Because we've heard the 28th they were going to stop. We've also heard the 31st. But believe me, I'm watching. I am watching the auction page like a hawk, right? So, and like I said, I'll come back if only to say they had an auction or they didn't have an auction, right? We could do a short little, no, I would do one of those little minute YouTube videos, right? Just saying, okay, today's this, that, and they did not have an auction. But anyway, so that's what I'm looking for. And that's why I tell people you can't be caught up in this. You can't live your life by it. You have to live your life like it's not going to happen, but also be prepared for if it does. Okay, so getting back to, this is my thinking, and not just thinking, stuff that I read in the Constitution, in their Constitution, about this currency auction. When they don't put dollars in the economy, the dollar rate goes up. It causes panic, the prices go up, and it can crash the dinar. So that's why I'm saying if they stop the auctions and go more than January 7th, because it does seem a consensus among a lot of the talking heads and economists that they think there could be a couple of days because there's going to be confusion. They could see people panicking and wanting to get the dollar, and that would make the dollar rate go up. Also, New Year's, because we're in the holiday season, a lot of people are buying dollars because they're traveling, right? So, but if we get to January 7th and they haven't changed the rate, and the dollar rate is increasing and the dinar value is decreasing, there's going to be a problem. Okay, so, and um, that's not any guru. That's just, I've noticed that when they don't put dollars in the economy, that's what happens. So if they're switching over, they're shutting that off totally and going to this new direction, I feel they have to change the rate and they have to put the lower denoms out, and I could be totally wrong. So, Pimpy, I'm not going to say that he's right or I agree with him, but it is his right to say that they're not going to change the rate. He has the right to say that. Okay, so it's what do? You get prepared. That's why, how do I close out every time? Unless I forget, how do I close out? Accumulate while we wait for the rate to appreciate. Don't miss any bills. No, don't miss any meals and pay all your bills. Because nobody knows what's going to happen. Nobody in the world. Maybe 5 or 6 people. I bet you they're all men too. Maybe there's 5 or 6 people who know when this rate is going to change. So until then, we're all speculating. We're doing the best we can to study the information that's out there. I personally like to hear from Eddie, the guy that Frank tweets text messages back and forth with. I like him. Nader goes on the roller coaster too much. I used to listen to Nader, but now people tell me, "Did you see Nader? He said da 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 da," and that's enough for me. I don't need to watch. But interesting enough, Nader, he said he's going back home. I think before the new year, he's going back to Iraq. So I thought that was interesting, if it's true. Okay, so yeah, so this came out today, and it is what it is. So they put it out there. So what are you going to do? How are you going to handle if they don't change the rate in January or before the end of the year? That's why I'm prepared for June, right? I told you that. Um, and we'll just see what happens. Okay, so that article is out there if you want to read it. It has some other stuff in there too, but like I said, it is what it is. Uh-oh, this looks like the title's missing. This is a different article, so hold on. Let me pause and make a correction here. All right, so here's the next article. Sudani's advisor, which is probably Mohammed Saleh. Yes, it is. Mohammed Saleh reassures the people through the news, right? Through the news about the rise of the dollar. It's a temporary market bubble. So you could read this. This is a good one to read. It says the difference between the two exchange rates in the market is basically stable for reasons related to controlling the sale of cash dollars from legal outlets to travelers in an organized manner and subject to a precise. Oh, there's something else I forgot too. Jeez Louise. Okay. Anyway, we've already started. I'll pull it up. Okay. Matter of fact, I might just read it from my phone. Anyway, so stable for reasons related. I'm reading the second paragraph right here. To controlling the sale of cash dollars from legal outlets to travelers in an organized manner and subject to a precise rule of compliance and auditing. In addition to the ability of the traveler to obtain other permitted amounts through payment cards in all their forms and in sufficient and comfortable amounts at an exchange rate of 1320 dinars per dollar. So we know that's the official rate, right? So he's saying, yes, we're going to end the previous way of getting dollars. We're going to the new mechanisms for strengthening with foreign currency to meet the bank's needs for foreign currency to finance foreign trade. Oh, also, in regards to pimping, and I don't know if he addressed, but there are two parts to this RV. There's the purchasing power, right? So the project to delete the 3 zeros, right? So that's part of it. Then, well, actually, you could say 3 parts. Deleting the 3 zeros, which is there's even still, after all this time of debate, is it off the currency or the rate? But we know it's not the currency because they're going to still be able to use both currencies for at least 2 years. I've even seen where it said 10 years, right? And changing and the new notes. Sorry. So there's a lot to it. It's not just one thing, okay? So yeah, so he's saying even if the dollar rate goes up, it's temporary. It's unrealistic speculation which will disappear, and he may mention the traveling, but at the end it says then they switch to a different. Mashadani is a financial expert, and even he says, yeah, the rate's gonna go up, but it's gonna go down. It'll just be a bubble, and it'll go back down. So we wait. So here's the one that says stopping the dollar selling platform will confuse the parallel market more, coinciding with Christmas holiday. So he's saying they're already confused. People who use the parallel market, they're already confused. But anyway, so yeah, see, then down here it says because of the proximity of New Year's celebrations, there's a demand for dollars because travelers and buying goods, right? Merchants are bringing in. I was going to show you, but I lost that one. But I'm going to show you something else. What time? Okay. Yeah. So the rise, buying some goods, expecting the rise to continue until the beginning of the new year, after which it may return to a gradual and slow decline. And we don't want either of those, right? But so, and then he talks about stopping the platform. It says they've already stopped it, right? Then a little bit more, noting that this is what will lead to the rise, and therefore practical steps must be taken to prevent the country's monetary authority and urgently. So there's that. Now here, looky. I like this. The Central Bank of Iraq honors the members of the Issuance and Treasury Department on their career day, and they were having a party. They showed it on TV, and at first I was like, they're having a party in the CBI building, and there was no articles, nothing. It was all in Arabic, right? But so I couldn't tell what they were talking about, but I knew Al-Alaq was there, and I knew it was a party. But so this is what they did. So counter that, possibly negative news with His Excellency, the governor of the CBI, Mr. Ali, blah, 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 right? All his names are there. Sponsored the first annual celebration for the employees of the issuance, whatever that is, issuance of what? And treasuries in the bank and its branches. So they go on, during a speech. So is that our Treasury Department or their Treasury Department? Okay, so this is the part I really like. The last sentence. Yes, the last sentence. His Excellency stressed that we had previously directed to hold a special celebration for the employees of the issuance and treasuries, and this comes in appreciation of their great efforts in the process of sorting, printing, and issuing currency and other basic tasks of their work. So, of course, I'm reading that with dinar goggles on. You know me. Well, I'm trying to highlight it, but here it is. It's the last sentence of this. Matter of fact, you might want to get this and let people read this. Um, I don't know. And so they've never done this before. Here's another first thing they've done. So for all the people out there, nothing's changed, nothing's different. There's something that's new and different. Okay? So that's on the CBI, and then here's some pictures if you want to see them. And they also did put it in the news. Also, that article that said they're not going to change the rate, the first one that I went over, that wasn't plastered everywhere. That was just one or two websites. So remember, it's not coming from the CBI and it's not coming from Mohammed Saleh. So it leads me to believe it's people who want to cause problems. Possibly they're the ones that benefit from the high dollar exchange rate, or they're Iranian backed. Okay? But then go ahead and read that CBI thing I just sent you. Okay, or just read you. So here, uncertainty over the 2025 budget. Remember I said this? We don't know anything about it yet. Yeah, and you don't need to. It says expectations of deliberate delay. Yes, Sudani's hiding it from you dirty dogs so you don't mess it up. Yeah, I know. I shouldn't say that, but that's how I feel. You guys know me. All right, here's a nice article you could read. I'm not going to go over it because look at that. We're at 22 minutes. On the cusp of 2025, economy and political differences are the most prominent wishes of the Kurdish street. So you could see, I'm not exactly sure what building this is, but they have a big sign, 2025. But, like they said, this is in the Kurdistan region, so you can read. It's basically what we want. We want a good life. We want money. We want to work. We want good, we want to feel valued, right? Okay, let's see. International Development Bank announced today, Thursday, the introduction of an electronic payment mechanism for entertainment services. So, see, everything's going electronic, whether I like it or not. And it's a partnership. Oh, yeah, and they again were talking about that German, the jizz thing. And there's also a Spanish. Oh, yeah, there it is. La Liga. But it's also Liga. So here it's Lalega. So I guess they're bringing other language. Like how, what's the one that we have? Deportes. We have that here in America, right? Univision, whatever. So I think that's what they're doing there. They're bringing other language, sport, and entertainment programming to Iraq. I think that's what that is. But look, the NBA, Formula One, bread and circuses. So here, if you'd like to, somebody went to buy me a coffee. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. You know who you are. Okay, so here again, call to reevaluate the cost of oil production in Kurdistan. So Safwan Kwasi, he's an economic expert, but they interview him a lot on the talk shows, the 30-minute or an hour talk shows, and he gets interviewed in the news. So again, I think this is just they're just causing havoc, mad that they don't know what's going on, and especially right now with the holidays, nothing's going on. So, yeah, I would actually, unless you're one of the people that like to read articles like that. Well, it does. He does go into the very last paragraph, maybe, which is right here. Maybe you want to read that. It says, regarding the fluctuations in the dollar price and its impact on citizens, the Central Bank of Iraq still has ambitions to modernize the banking systems and involve the largest possible number of banks in the process of financing foreign trade by reclassifying them and linking them to a system of international correspondence. And you know what? Since they mentioned that right now, I'm going to show you something else I should have had the foresight to bring up. Integration requirements. This is on the CBI. It came out today. In order to expedite the procedures and complete the merger transactions of Category A and B exchange companies and all foreign currency brokerage companies, please provide us with the attached merger requirements. And look, it's a lot. I did, so I translated this first page right here. Let me see if I could get it right quick. Come on. I had so many greetings yesterday. My phone is so full. Okay, let's see. Give me time. Work with me. Work with me. That's the Apple Store. I don't want that. Here we go. Come on, come on, come on. Well, while I'm waiting for that, I'll show you the other pages. There's 1, 2, and 3, I think. Yeah. So that's a lot of stuff they have to provide to get merged, but they're getting ready, right? They're getting all these exchangers ready to perform at a new level. Oh, come on. You know what? It's not going to let me do it. Let me see if I can read that. I have it, but it's, I'm enlarging it to try to read it, and it's blurry. So I'm sorry about that. I should have been better prepared. But it just says, if you want to be, you want to be part of the next level, here's what you need to provide to us, and we'll merge you. So there's smaller traders, smaller exchange companies. They're out there on their own. And when they see that, if they stop the auctions, they're going to see it's not going to be so good to be out there on their own. And I'm sure they'll probably make them wait a month or two, and then they'll open it back up. Anyway, here's Mahmoud Dogger. He's criticizing, saying oil's over $70. Well, Brent crude is, right? Why are we borrowing money? In our budget, we have I forget what oil is, but it's not 70, right? Or is it 70? I don't know. But yeah, so, and he makes a good point. Why are they? But we know why, right? Because they're in the global game. When you want to be in the global big boy party, you have to take their money, and their money comes with strings attached. That's why Iran doesn't want to be, Syria doesn't want to be, who else? I think Cuba still hasn't taken money from the IMF, right? It's very few countries in the world do not borrow from the IMF and the World Bank. And how do they get treated? Very poorly, right? So anyway, so if you'd like to read that, you can. And I think we're done. Yeah, that's the last article. Okay, so here, this is budget tables and financing operations on the discussion table of the head of State of Law Block and Minister of Finance. Now, the head of State of Law used to be Maliki. So look it used to be Nouri al-Maliki, the Maliki that we don't like, right? Look who's there now. Yes, sir. Maliki. Think he's related? Yeah, I bet he is. But anyway, so yeah, so they are talking with Miss Sammy, the finance minister, about the budget. So see, they're being very particular, and it says they're talking. It doesn't say they're looking at, right? So because they know the corruption and the fraud, they're being very particular about who is seeing this and having input on these budget schedules, which is good, I hope. All right, and so the last article, praising the government's success in attracting investors and capital to the country. So you can read that if you like. It's good, it's positive. You know, here, the last one, I think, is this the last one? The government vision. There's a government vision for a map of high priority investment projects, and the government has begun to lay the basic foundations in terms of financial transfer, financial leverage, and financial inclusion, which is one of the largest pillars of investment. So, see, it's positive. It's just saying about where they're going in the future and the things they're doing. And they are getting very large projects. Some of the luxury homes, the models, right? Because they're not building them yet, but the models look straight out of the other Dubai, Abu Dhabi, right? So it's going to be wonderful. And it really upsets me that they're being pushed off, just like we are. They want to be proud of their country. They know we're an oil producing country. We should be living like the other oil producing countries, right? So they're tired of the talk, talk, talk. And that's another thing. Sadani made them that promise, that oath, that they were going to have more purchasing power, which, he's doing the best he can. It's not totally in his hands either. So, all right. So I hope this helps. Tomorrow's Friday. Uh, I probably won't post, but if there is something post-worthy, you know that I will. And then definitely Saturday, because if you go too many days, then you get bombarded. And I like to keep these posts 30 minutes. I went over a little bit, but I was trying to answer. I hope I answered the person's comment well and thoroughly. Yeah. So I want to say thank you again. We're still in the Christmas spirit, holiday spirit, getting ready, moving to 2025, believing good things are going to happen. Even that, and that's the thing, you guys. You have to believe, even if the RV doesn't happen. There's other ways that you can be blessed. There's other ways that the things you want can come to you, or you can go seek them out too. Okay? Anyway, all right. I will say, I said it already, but I'm going to say it again. Accumulate while we wait for the rate to appreciate. Don't miss any meals and pay all your bills. Thank you for listening. And, if there's a join, follow, like, subscribe, whatever type button, do whatever action is necessary to activate that, because I don't post regularly. And if you do that and technology works like it's supposed to, then when I do update, you'll be notified. All right. Until next time, enjoy the rest of your morning, night, noon, or whatever time frame you're enjoying this content.